I want to show you how to use Google to get exchange rates. Now, they're within 20 minutes, so this is not for a currency trader, but for everyone else, it will be fine. So, if I'm wondering right now, well, how many US dollars will I get with a Canadian dollar? All I have to do is type in the currency into the search bar using the 3-digit codes. So, each currency has a 3-digit code. Canada is CAD for Canadian dollars. US is USD. There's EUR for euros, GBP for British pounds, CHF for Swiss francs, INR for Indian rand. So how much does a Canadian dollar get you right now? Well, it will give you 78 US cents. So that's the exchange rate, and you can see, okay, well, actually, it's lost a little value over the course of the last month. Although if you look at it more long term, it is slightly more valuable, only slightly bit late. Anyways, and that's a quick way to do that. It will work with any, this is China, here's British pounds, so it'll work with any exchange rate. Now, it'll also, you can put in a number. Like if you know, hey, I see that this is on a website, it's not a local website, so the prices are listed in another currency, it'll convert that for you. For example, the price of a Big Mac in China is 21.71. So I can enter that to CAD, and I can see that that's worth 4.26 Canadian dollars. So that would be an example, actually, so it's Big Mac these days, can be about 6.50. So our Canadian dollar actually buys you more if you are in China. And you might have seen a TV. Well, it's $4.99 USD on the website. Well, how much would that be in Canada? Okay, well, if I want to buy that, I would need to $635.86. So using Google search engine and just typing in the codes is one quick way to get exchange rates. I'll now show you another using Google Sheets. I've got my pricing information here, and it's ready to do the calculations. And if you're wondering about the rows, I used alternating rows, so it allows me to automatically set a whole bunch of colors at once. It can give your head a row, a darker color and a lighter color. And if you insert rows, it will automatically change all the formatting, or if you cut and paste, it won't mess up your formatting. So that's a good trick to learn. And so I've got these countries I'm going to study. I'm going to study Canada, the United States, France. And so for currencies, they all have a 3-digit code. So we've got CAD for Canadian dollars, USD, EUR for euro, and JPY for the Japanese yen. And here's the Google Finance formula that's going to automatically do that. So equals Google Finance, open bracket, and then in quotation marks, currency, and make sure you see there's a little colon as well. So that's it's not going to work without that. And then we have the two currencies we have. Now you could say ampersand CAD and write out the code there, and ampersand USD, and actually write it out, and that would work as well. But I'm going to point to a specific cell so that I can cut and paste it. So and it'll automatically do it within 20 minutes. And so so this is going to be how many the first one, how many if I take the first one, if I take a Canadian dollar, how many US dollars will I get? And I put this dollar sign in here because I wanted to absolutely refer to the top row. So I put a dollar sign in front of the B and a dollar sign in front of the 2 so that it will automatically refer to that. And here it is. And then if I had to copy and paste, I'll show you how that could work. Paste it, and you can see it kept my formatting, and each the one without the dollar sign was updated one row below. So now I get how many euros does 1 Canadian dollar get you, and how many yen does 1 Canadian dollar get you, and it will update automatically as things trade. So I got my prices here. So one thing, just for clarity, just so we don't get confused, like mix up euros and dollars, I've gone to format, number, more formats, more currencies, and I've selected the exact currency that it will be in, whether it's in euro, US dollars, Canadian dollars. That way we won't get confused, and it'll put a little euro symbol in there or a little yen symbol in there so that it'll be easy to see. So first thing I want to do is the implied purchasing power parity. So, this should be the same as the exchange rate. So because all things being the same, your dollar should buy you the same amount of stuff in any country. So got the price here for a Big Mac, and so we'll do is an equal sign, and then we're going to take the US price and then a dividing and click on the cell for Canadian, and I'm going to put in the dollar sign, so it's going to absolutely refer back to the Canadian dollar one. And then here I can copy it, paste it, and you can see, okay, so there's just differences have occurred, and we would have to figure out, well, why might a Big Mac be slightly different in different parts of the world? And another thing is, Coke's pretty common. Sometimes people do like a latte, a common product. And so let's see how the implied purchasing power parity is. So we got the US price divided by the Canadian price. And again, we would expect this to be the same as the exchange rate, but there's always little differences that affect the exact cost of living. And so it's going to gives you sort of a suggested autofill, which sometimes pops up. And yes, I do want to automatically fill that. So you can see that prices were a little different in for Coke than for. So now we know what the exchange rate is, but let's see, the implied purchasing power. How much lunch does our dollar or our euro or our yen get us? So first thing, just want to add up the cost of a lunch. So a Big Mac and a Coke. And again, you can click, sometimes it gives you suggested autofill. Here, I'll paste it by hand. You can see, because I did alternating rows, none of my formatting got messed up, and it's all, nice and neat. So we got to get our implied purchasing power parity of a total lunch. So it's going to be the price in US dollars divided by the price in Canadian dollars. And then here you go, the implied purchasing power. Now let's see whether things are undervalued or overvalued based on this package. Now you might this basket of goods. You might have picked a different set of goods, so your numbers might not be totally the same. And then so again, equal. Let's practice our spreadsheet formulas. So I need the top part. I'm going to need order of operations. So the implied purchasing power parity minus the exchange rate. And then close the brackets, divided by the exchange rate. And I can use my copy and paste. So it's the Canadian dollar is overvalued a touch versus the US dollar by 20%, and France to 20% buys you a little more, and then it does not buy you as much as the Japanese yen. It's undervalued. So one thing before you're done, you can see these exchange rates. What I did was that I used format number to set up the number format with 2 decimal places, and do the same. So this final reading is in percentages. So we go to format number percent, and make sure you put it in percent. And now you could write a concluding sentence. So why is it perhaps that the Big Mac and in the soft drink are a little more expensive in France? Well, they're not as popular. There aren't as many locations. For some of the ingredients are harder to get in Europe than they are in North America. So those ingredients are more expensive. Also, things like the fuel costs, the wages, everything's a little higher in France. So that's why the prices are a little more expensive in France. And so your Canadian dollar, with regards to these fast food items, buys you more than it would in France, because a little bit of the supply and demand. Production costs are higher because of the labor and fuel and other things, and also the ingredients are higher. And then also there is, they're a little more exclusive. There's a scarce supply of it as well, which drives up the price. So you finish this off by writing a concluding statement. And here you've used Google Sheets and some new formulas.